We are commencing legal action against Mrs. Meghan Markle. An apology no longer suffices. The matter will now proceed. Princess and did not raise her voice. She did not need to. Standing before a small gathering of senior royal officials, she placed one hand on the polished table and revealed a protocol change capable of ending Meghan's remaining royal ambitions forever. The instruction was precise, permanent, and already active. Meghan would no longer be eligible to attend future official royal events, regardless of invitation requests, family appeals, or changing public pressure. A palace protocol is the rules governing royal access, appearances, and ceremonial roles. And this one went beyond a temporary restriction. It permanently removed Meghan from state ceremonies, palace receptions, commemorations, balcony appearances, and family gatherings conducted under royal authority. Her name would no longer wait for approval. It would be excluded before any invitation list reached the king, and held the room in silence with terrifying and irreversible force. The Princess Royal remained controlled, but control did not mean comfort. A courtier watched her fingers tighten against the table as she explained that the order had already been approved and coded into palace planning procedures. 3 upcoming events had been tested under the new system, and Meghan's name had been blocked each time, and understood the meaning. The decision would wound Harry as deeply as it limited his wife, because every closed door would feel like a judgment on his place within the family. The decision looked simple when written in palace language. To Princess, and it was anything but simple. Harry was not an abstract problem or an inconvenient name on a guest list. He was her nephew, the boy she had watched grow beneath the weight of royal expectation. Meghan was now outside the institution, yet her absence would still affect every person inside it. And Charles faced a choice no father could make without pain, and had built her life around duty, discipline, and protecting the crown from emotional pressure. The crown meant the public institution of the monarchy, not just the individual wearing it. And she believed its rules existed to stop private conflict from overwhelming national responsibility. To her, protocol was not revenge. It was the boundary that kept personal wounds from deciding who appeared, who spoke, and who represented the royal family. Meghan still saw major ceremonies as a possible route back into royal visibility. She no longer carried out official duties, but events involving memorials, anniversaries, or the children could still place her beside the family in front of the world. The permanent restriction destroyed that possibility. It removed the uncertainty she had continued to hold on to, and it made clear that personal connection no longer guaranteed public access. Officials began leaving without conversation, and stayed behind, staring at one unopened letter addressed in Harry's handwriting. She knew the palace had closed its gates through procedure, but that letter carried something colder. Proof that the family had been warned this moment was coming, and that the next battle would not be about Meghan's access alone. It would be about loyalty, blood, and who would be forced to choose. Harry received the news through a private call before the announcement spread beyond palace walls. He listened without interruption, walked toward a window, and asked whether and herself had pushed the decision through. His voice stayed calm, but the question carried betrayal. He had expected resistance from officials. He had not expected his aunt to become the face of the final barrier. Charles read the protocol summary alone. The king removed his glasses, placed them beside the document, and remained silent. As sovereign, he understood why the restriction offered stability. As a father, he saw another wall rising between himself and his younger son. He knew Harry would not separate the institution from the family, even if the palace insisted they were different, and had tried to avoid that outcome. She had proposed allowing Meghan to attend private family gatherings while keeping her away from official royal events. Advisors rejected the compromise because private and public appearances could not stay separate under constant media attention. One photograph, one entrance, or one disputed seat could reopen the entire conflict. Meghan received the confirmation in California through a documented palace message. She stopped halfway across the room, read the final sentence twice, and asked whether the restriction included memorial services and major family occasions. The answer came back without softness. Yes. Her expression changed not into rage, but into disbelief. She had expected resistance. She had not expected permanence. Charles could not casually undo it. The monarch might issue personal invitations, But this protocol required a formal reversal signed by several senior royal authorities before any exception could be made. That detail removed the possibility of a last-minute rescue driven by guilt, pressure, or family emotion. The system had been built to survive hesitation from the man who might one day wish to break it. While Princess Anne was signing the death warrant for Harry and Meghan's royal future, Prince William was already preparing for the fallout. And his move was cold, calculated, and final. Kensington Palace, 9:47 a.m. William, in full military uniform, stood by the window, watching the changing of the guard below. His private secretary entered with a red box, classified palace correspondence. "The Princess Royal's protocol has been sealed, sir. But there's one issue." William didn't turn. There's always an issue. Charles was trapped. As king, he understood the need for stability. As father, he feared losing his son forever. He summoned William to Buckingham Palace. "Can we soften this? Just a little." William's jaw tightened. "Father, every time we bend, they push harder. Remember the Oprah interview? Remember the Netflix deal? This is not about Meghan. This is about the crown." William had one condition before agreeing to the rule. It applies even if Harry attends alone. The lawyers exchanged glances. "That's unprecedented, Your Royal Highness." William's voice was ice. "No. What's unprecedented is a royal using his title for profit while refusing to serve." A framed photograph of the late Queen sat on Charles's desk. In it, she wore the imperial state crown, the same one and would have to defend at the next state opening of Parliament. Charles touched the frame. "Your grandmother? Would she have done this?" William didn't hesitate. She already did. When Wallis Simpson tried to return. When Margaret wanted to marry Townsend. The crown always comes first. Harry still didn't know. But Meghan's team had sources inside the palace. A text message lit up her phone. "The rule is real." And William pushed for it. Meghan's hands shook. "That bastard." Harry's phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. "Prince Harry, this is Sir Edward Young. His Majesty requests a word." The conversation between Charles and Harry on March 12, 2024 was so painful, so raw, that the king ordered the transcript destroyed. But one aide disobeyed, and what they heard will haunt the royal family forever. Harry was in Montecito, pacing his garden, the Pacific Ocean roaring in the distance. He knew something was wrong. The silence from London had been deafening. The call connected. "Harry, father, what have you done?" Charles didn't sugarcoat it. "There is a new protocol. It excludes you and Meghan from official royal events." Harry laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. "That's rich. After everything. The military, the charities, the years of service. You're telling me I'm not welcome at my own father's ceremonies." Charles sighed. "It's not about you, son. It's about the institution." Harry's voice cracked. "The institution? The same institution that ignored my mental health? The same institution that hounded my wife? The same institution that let the press destroy us? Fuck the institution." Silence. Then, Charles's voice, broken. "Harry, please." Harry wasn't done. "If this is how it's going to be, then I want it in writing. No more half measures. No more private family gatherings where I'm tolerated but not respected. Either I'm in, or I'm out." Charles knew what that meant. "Harry, you're asking me to choose between you and the crown." Harry's answer was final. "Then choose." When Harry hung up, Meghan was waiting. Well, Harry couldn't look at her. "They've drawn a line, and we're on the wrong side of it." Meghan's eyes darkened. "Then we cross it." That night, Harry wrote a letter, not to his father, but to his aunt. The first line, "And, if you value loyalty at all, meet me in London. Alone." The meeting between Princess Anne and Prince Harry at Clarence House on March 20th, 2024 was so volatile, so charged, that two aides resigned rather than witness it. This is what really happened. The clock struck 3 p.m. and, in a navy blue suit, sat in the private sitting room of Clarence House. The fireplace crackled. The tea was untouched. Harry arrived alone. No security. No Meghan. Just him, his uncle's old watch, and a face like thunder. Harry didn't sit. "Aunt Anne, did you do this?" And didn't flinch. "I supported the protocol." "Yes." Harry slammed a document on the table, a copy of the rule. "This isn't a protocol. It's a banishment." And picked up the paper, scanned it, then set it down. "It's a boundary." Harry leaned in. "A boundary?" You've just told my wife she can't attend her husband's father's funeral. That's not a boundary, and that's cruelty. Anne's voice was steel. Meghan stopped being a working royal in 2020. She chose that life. The crown cannot be held hostage to personal choices. Harry laughed bitterly. Oh, so now it's her fault? What about my service? 10 years in the army? 2 tours of Afghanistan. Does that mean nothing? And stood up, her chair scraping. Harry, you left. You walked away. And every time you try to come back, it's on your terms. The monarchy doesn't work like that. Harry's hands clenched. So what? We're just erased. And paused. Then, quietly, you're not erased. But the door to duty is closed. Harry stared at her, breathing hard. If I stand beside Meghan at the next event, will you still block her? And didn't hesitate. Yes. Silence. The clock ticked. Harry's face went pale. Harry turned to leave. Then, at the door, he stopped. One last thing, Aunt Anne. You're not just blocking Meghan. You're blocking your own nephew. And when the history books write about this, they won't remember you kindly. And didn't respond. But as the door clicked shut, she whispered to herself, God help us all. On April 5th, 2024, the world woke up to a front-page headline that would change the royal family forever. Harry and Meghan banned for life. But the real story, the palace's panic, the public's rage, and the king's silent agony, was even more explosive. 5 a.m., London. The first newspapers hit the stands. The Daily Mail's headline, Royal Exile, Anne's Iron Fist ends Harry and Meghan's future. By 6:30 a.m., #RoyalBan was trending worldwide. By 8 a.m., Buckingham Palace's switchboard was jammed. BBC, is the monarchy too harsh? Fox News, Harry and Meghan victims of a ruthless system. The Sun, and the Terminator, how the princess crushed her nephew. Meghan's team released a single statement. This is not about access. This is about dignity. Harry stayed silent, but his sources leaked. The king knew. The Prince of Wales pushed for it, and Princess Anne pulled the trigger. Pro-monarchy. Rules are rules. The Sussexes chose this life. Pro-Harry/Meghan. Shame on the palace. Family comes first. Neutral observers. This is sad, but necessary. A protest erupted outside Buckingham Palace. One sign, duty over blood, held by a 78-year-old royalist. Another sign, family should not be exiled, held by a 20-year-old Meghan fan. Charles held an emergency meeting. We need to control the narrative. William shook his head. It's too late. The world already knows. And spoke for the first time since the leak. We do not apologize. But we do not gloat. The palace released a carefully worded statement. The monarchy evolves with the times. But its core principles, duty, service, and constitutional integrity, remain unchanged. Charles locked himself in his study. A single letter lay on his desk, Harry's handwriting. Father, I love you. But I cannot be part of an institution that treats my wife like this. Charles clutched his chest. His private secretary found him hours later, tears in his eyes. Your Majesty, are you all right? Charles whispered. I've lost my son, and I don't know how to get him back. Harry and Meghan, permanently excluded from all official royal events. The monarchy, stronger than ever, but colder, harder. The public, divided, but fascinated. The future, no going back. And stood before the royal household one last time. This was not about Harry. This was not about Meghan. This was about the crown. And the crown endures. So here we are. A family broken. A monarchy changed forever. And a rule that can never be undone. But remember this. Every dynasty has its cracks. And sometimes, the cracks are what let the light in.